Hello everyone. In this video I am going to talk about cams with specified contours. Let's consider this cam profile with roller follower. There are two important things about this cam profile. To complete this cam profile, firstly the follower motions such as uniform motion, uniform acceleration, simple harmonic motion and cycloidal motion is considered. Based on that follower motions, the cam profile is drawn. Secondly, the second important point, this cam profile is not symmetry with any axis. This non-symmetry increases its difficulty of manufacturing, hence the cost of manufacturing is increases. Now let's consider this cam profile. This is an example of cams with specified contours. In this case, cam profile is drawn first. Secondly, the follower motion parameters such as displacement, velocity, acceleration will be analyzed. So the main difference is, the first important thing, here the follower motion is selected first. Based on that follower information, the cam profile is drawn. But in this specified contours, first cam profile is drawn. Based on that, the follower motions is analyzed secondly. And this follower is not symmetry with any axis, hence it increases its manufacturing difficulty, hence cost of manufacturing increases. However, these cams with specified contours having the symmetry about some axis. This cam is symmetry about this vertical line, hence this symmetry reduces its manufacturing difficulty. The cost of manufacturing reduces, hence it is popularly used. This is the base circle, this is the nose circle, and these two circles are connected by two tangents E, G and IJ. Hence these cams are known as tangent cams, and this tangent path is known as flank of the cam. Due to easiness of manufacturing and less cost of manufacturing, these tangent cams are widely used. In most of the IC engines, the inlet valve and exhaust valve openings are controlled with the help of these tangent cams. As I told earlier, in this specified contours, first the cam profile is drawn, then the velocity, acceleration, displacement analysis of the follower is done. Secondly, the displacement, velocity and acceleration is performed. In these tangent cams, we are going to determine or consider the displacement, velocity, acceleration of this roller follower at three salient points or critical points. One is beginning of the lift, the second the straight flank where the straight flank merges into the circular nose, third when the roller is at the apex of the circular nose. The point H is known as the apex of the circular nose. Point E is known as the beginning of the lift. At the point G, the flank merges with nose. So mainly we are going to discuss the velocity, acceleration of this roller at these three critical points. In this video I am going to summarize the formula, but I strongly advise you to go with the derivations, any book, so it will make you to understand this concept more clear. RB is the base circle radius, Rn is the nose radius, and Rr is the radius of the roller. And the angle between the lines OO1 and OA is called alpha. This alpha is also known as angle of ascent or semi-angle of action. And theta is the angle between the lines OA and OB, and pi is the angle between the lines OA and OC. Omega is the angular velocity of the cam. Tangent cam with roller follower. Summary of formulae. The lift capital L is equal to the distance between the point O1 and the apex. This is given by the formula total length from O to the apex minus the base circle radius. Now consider this triangle OBC. Tan pi is equal to opposite side BC upon adjacent side OB. This BC is equal to O1I. That O1I can be calculated by considering this triangle O1IO, that is given by R sin alpha, and this OB is the sum of the distance between OE and BE. OE is nothing but base circle radius and BE is nothing but roller radius. Small l is nothing but the sum of the distance of this Rn and Rr. This RB, base circle radius, can be the sum of the distance between the points EI and for the points IO. This OI can be obtained from the triangle OIO1, that is given by R cos alpha, and this EI is equal to the nose radius. The nose radius is mentioned as Rn, hence Rn is added with this formula. Now we are going to consider the velocity acceleration only in the straight flanks EG. This formula VEG provides the velocity of this roller in any point between E and G. This theta is varying every instant. So by providing that different values of theta in this formula, we can able to get the velocity at the particular point. To get the velocity at E, we have to put theta equal to 0, because theta is measured from the lines OE. By substituting theta equal to 0 in this formula, sin theta becomes 0, which leads to velocity at E equal to 0. So velocity at point E is minimum and that value is 0. To get the velocity at G, now replace the theta values with pi. By replacing it, we will get velocity at G, and that velocity will be maximum at G. Similarly, this formula provides the acceleration between the points E and G. By providing different values of theta, we can get acceleration at the particular points. To get the acceleration at E, put theta equal to 0 in this formula. Cos theta becomes 1. So this formula reduces to omega square into RB plus RR. To get the acceleration at G, put the value of theta equal to pi. We can get this formula. It is observed that the point E is having the minimum acceleration and point G is having the maximum acceleration, that is mentioned here. Now consider this nose. This formula provides the velocity at any point in the nose between the points G and H, where theta 1 is the angle between the lines OO1 and OC, and theta 1 is measured from the lines OO1. That means when the roller is at H, the theta 1 values is 0. Now substituting that theta 1 is equal to 0, we can able to get the velocity at H. Similarly, this formula provides the acceleration between the points G and H. To get the acceleration at the nose, substitute theta 1 equal to 0 in this formula, which leads to this simple formula omega square r into 1 plus r upon Rn plus Rr. So in summary, the velocity at point E is 0 and apex also 0, and it is maximum at G. So the velocity is 0 at point E and H, and at point G it is maximum. Similarly, the acceleration at point E and H is minimum and at G is maximum. At this path EG, the acceleration is increasing from E and getting maximum at G. And again the values of acceleration start decreasing from G and getting minimum value at H. So a minus n can be added in this acceleration formula to show the acceleration is decreasing from the path G to H. A tangent cam with a base circle diameter of 50 mm operates a roller follower 20 mm in diameter. That is, the radius of the base circle is 25 mm and radius of the roller is 10 mm. The angle between the tangential force of the cam is 60 degree. That is, this angle between these two tangents is 60 degree. The half of the angle is 30. Now consider this triangle, this point E and O. This is 90 degree and this half of the angle is 30 degree, hence this alpha is 60 degree. That is mentioned here. The speed of the camshaft is 250 rpm, that is n equal to 250 rpm, and the lift of the follower is 15 mm, L equal to 15 mm. Calculate the main dimensions of the cam. The main dimensions of the cams are the base circle radius, the nose radius, the distance between the center of the two circles O and O1, that is R, and then angle phi. So in this case, in this problem, RB and R are already provided, hence we have to find out the remaining three parameters. And the second subdivision B, the acceleration of the follower at the beginning of the lift, that is at E, and where the roller just touches the nose, that is G, the apex of the circular nose, that is H. By substituting this n value in this omega formula, we can get omega. Using these lift relations, substitute the value of L and RB, we get one equations with two unknowns R and Rn. Now use the another relations RB, substitute the value of RB and alpha in this equation, we get equation number 2. By solving the equation 1 and 2, we can get R equal to 30 mm, nose radius is 10 mm. By substituting this R, RB, RR and alpha values in this formula, we can get phi equal to 36.586. These are the basic dimensions of the cam. Now we have to get the acceleration at the point E, G and H. I have already shown the formulas to calculate acceleration at E, G and H. Now I am going to use the same formula here to find out the answers. Substitute this value of omega, RB and RR in this formula, we can get acceleration at this point E. Using this second formula, we can get acceleration at G. Using this formula, we can get acceleration at H. These are the answers for these questions. By observing the solutions, we can easily understand that the acceleration at E is minimum and maximum at G, and again it's reduced to minimum value 51.40. So the acceleration is minimum at E, maximum at G, again it is reducing at H. So the path between G and H is the reducing acceleration, hence a minus sign can be added in this value to show that the acceleration is decreasing in nature. Thank you.